Hey guys, welcome back to our winners of the Calciomercato in Serie A. I'm back again with Giordano and Andreas, and we're going to talk about our winners for Serie A. So our first winner of the day will go to Sampdoria. They did a lot of activity during the market, during the summer window.
Yeah, they didn't stop, those guys.
They want to really enforce their squad. They want to finish better than last season.
Yeah, Ferrero's he's a crazy president, but I would say he's pretty much a good one. You know, he gets what he wants, and he gets his replacements before he even sells the players.
He's the type of president that loves the club and it's his life. He'll go to every game. That's all you want, and he'll invest into the club. Like they sold Skriniar and Sheik, but they also bought. Zapata was a very good striker. He didn't make it at Napoli, but I think he still has a chance.
They managed to even get a young defender in Muru as well from Cagliari.
The wing back.
Really
yeah, he's a very good player. As well as they even got Gaston Ramirez. He was here with Bologna not too long ago. He did decent, which got him a move to the Prem. In the Premier League, he was bouncing around teams, and he went to the Championship with Middlesbrough, but I think he'll do very good.
I don't know. I find that as the worst signing because I don't feel he can really do much with Sam, but again, time will tell to, say otherwise, right?
Yeah.
But I do find that, again, their best signing being Zapata. He is a good, experienced striker with Udinese.
He's fit for a mid-table club like Sampdoria for sure. As well as Gianluca Capre also, he had a really good season with Pescara last year, so he can definitely do some damage with some more high-quality players, around him and stuff.
I was shocked Inter let him go on a full transfer. I thought they would just loan him out because he has a bright future, that kid.
I know. We sort of used him in the deal to get Skriniar, I guess you could say.
So you win some, you lose some.
Yeah, it's okay.
They did even get Strinic to improve their defense from Napoli, who's not a bad defender, but we'll see how well he fits into Sam's system.
They did sell Muriel, which was a win and a lose because a win and a loss. Sorry, they did get a good transfer fee for him, but he was also their main goal threat.
He did score a lot of goals. He did form a good partnership with Quagliarella, but I feel Zapata can do him justice in replacing him.
Good old Quags, man. I love that guy.
He just will keep bagging them in no matter how old he is. But
you can always expect a screamer out of that guy, bro. You'll never rule that out. He has a wand of a right foot.
He wins often on the pitch. For sure, that guy.
But I do find Sam's worst sale being Schick, just because he could have stayed one more year. They could have got a bigger transfer for him. I know it was a loan with obligation towards Roma for about 42 mil, but again, they could have got more. He is a talented player.
Yeah.
They also had PSG going after him. They had, and I guarantee you, another good season. A bunch of other European clubs would have went.
I know he probably isn't a one and done, so he could have maybe again stayed. They could have got more out of him, but I feel the big move for Schick wasn't the best time. I know a lot of these youngsters like to go to the best teams, but staying at the at a mid-table team probably wouldn't have been the best option.
The only thing
better for sure.
The only thing I see for him is as a bonus is he's gonna learn under one of the best, Dzeko. What's the top scorer called?
The Capocannoniere.
Yeah, he won the scoring title last year, and she can learn a lot from him. They both have a similar play style, I feel, and they have the same body type. So Dzeko can take him under his wing, and
a couple seasons you'll be ready for sure.
Alright, we're here also now with our second winner of the Calciomercato, which is Torino. Who had a pretty good transfer market in our opinion, I would say. They got some good players, let go of some others, but some decisions were met with mixed reactions, I guess. They managed to get a good goalie and experience in Sirigu. They did have Joe Hart last year on loan.
So anything's an upgrade on him. Yeah. He's more focused on head and shoulders, his hair, than saving goals.
So at least now Sirigu can play, probably get back in the national team, but I don't think it will with Petting and Donnarumma back. But it gives him the chance to play after being left out in the PSG team. Yeah. They did manage to...
They basically managed to fulfill whatever they needed, whatever gaps they had. They may not be high quality players, but they can have definitely a good potential to develop into something big.
As well as they kept Baselli, who's arguably their biggest star.
Yeah, basically.
Now that Benassi left, they really have Baselli as their whole creative spark in the midfield.
Yeah, they could have. Unfortunately, I would say that is their worst sale in Benassi because he's a young Italian midfielder who's with the under 21s this last summer.
21 team.
And for £9 million or whatever it was, that's a steal. Especially to a rival team.
Mm-hmm. He could have developed well with Baselli being the heart and soul of the Torino midfield, but again, we'll see. They did sell recently on the final day Zappacosta, who was sold to Chelsea for 25 million euros, which honestly is a steal for his quality. It is a steal, and taking advantage of these Premier League teams overspending on players. So
Chelsea again got another great wing back from the Serie A. Just like Alonso, he's gonna be he's an underrated player, and once he goes to the Premier League, hopefully he flourishes and he does well. At least he's under Conte, so what more can you ask for a guy like Zappacosta? He plays with him
on the national team when he was there.
Exactly.
It was a good pickup, but again, it was just overpriced, so Torino didn't manage to make the money.
One of their downfalls was getting Insaldi, I feel, because he's an okay player, but
not the quality to replace Zappacosta, It's
there's a reason Inter were itching to get rid of him.
You guys know how we feel about Insaldi, so I'm just gonna stay quiet about this.
They also did manage to. I'm happy with this. We got rid of Mabini Yank, who was a good player, but didn't turn out at Milan. So Torino did manage to get a good young player, turning 23 this year.
I'm excited to see him and Bellotti how that works out. That could be
El Gallo. El Gallo. They did very well to keep a hold of him.
And Rincon as well from Juventus. That'll be a solid midfielder.
And they boosted their
defense
with Nkulu as well from Marseille.
Really
Myself personally, as a Juve follower, I'm happy Rincon's gone because he was just deadwood in the squad. But for a team like Torino, the rich man's garbage is a poor man's treasure. So we can see how it happened.
He's one of
he could be a decent Benassi replacement.
One of those Juve extras that happens to be on the team but then let go. So he probably is more of a mid-table team than rather a big team. So he probably will fit in more with Torino. He could probably create a good partnership with Baselli, like you said. They did get another young striker in Umar Sadiq from Rome on loan. Who'll probably get more playing time, help out Bellotti when needed, even provide good quality with Iago Foch and Lajic as well.
One thing Torino really could have done more, in my opinion, is maybe sign more defense because the last couple of years they've lost Glick as well as Maksimovic.
Yeah. I don't know, they got Lianco from São Paulo, so I'm really excited to see what he can do.
And
right now there's a surge of Brazilian talent coming to Europe, so you can never count out these Brazilian kids.
And again, they did sign Nkulu, as we said. They got an experienced Burdisso who has been Serie A all over, I don't know what he can bring. I'd say maybe just experience, but he's not
He's not the quality.
No. After I would say maybe he went I believe from Inter to Roma, so maybe from there he just went
maybe
downhill.
10 years ago.
Honestly, yeah. So he's maybe to help out with the defense when he can on the rotation, but he's not more than a backup. They did manage to get rid of Maxi Lopez, who is dead weight there. So.
He's a walking L, that guy. Legit.
Like he said,
on and off the field he catches L, so that's a very big bonus.
Poor guy.
They did send out Alvaro on loan, who was a decent left back. Maybe should have kept him, but we'll see how well he does.
Did they keep a hold of Barreca?
Yeah.
He's another one that can come out and maybe they can sell next year for a bigger price.
Next year
I think he can be a breakout player. Instead of Insaldi, I feel he's gonna overtake that guy, and Insaldi's gonna be watching him from the pine, aka the bench.
Okay, the winner.
Now we'll go on to the winner, which is obvious.
The big winner. The big winner.
With the big foreign investment.
It's pretty hard not to lose.
They basically bought a whole new starting 11, but when you have foreign owners like that, they can definitely spend
after years of banter, Milan can finally come back to European giants, European glory. Like,
And they
The
can win
Milan
the
are
Finally.
finally fighting for the Europa League, which their biggest rivals are who? Arsenal, I'd
I
say.
would probably say Arsenal.
And then in Serie A, they can be they're going to be fighting with
Tough
Juve
for
and
the
Napoli.
Honestly, I would feel more them trying to get back into Champions League. I don't see them winning
That's
Serie
the
A this year
it's-
because of
it's-
all these new players coming in, the lack of chemistry that there is. Montella does need the time to build. He can do well this year. I know if we don't make Champions League, it will be regarded as a failure, but it's just, it's a thing of buying all these players at once. It's the time that he doesn't have.
For me, I feel the title challenge is too steep because everyone needs to gel together, but also anything below
Champions
top
League,
three,
yeah.
for me, is a big disappointment.
But we do have 4 Champions League spots this year, so it does help even if we finish
Yeah.
4th. But
You have
top
to
three.
finish 4th.
Top
if you don't
three.
finish 4th, then financial fair play.
like if we
right
can't,
in your
yeah.
check.
For some teams, financial fair play knows how to bend the rules, but they like to nitpick. On who they
But that's
wanna
the thing.
choose.
If Milan don't make a Champions League, they will be hit hard with a big fine. So that's the exception. They are probably going to make their loans back from the Elliott Fund by October of 2018. So that is a good sign.
That's good. That's good.
Their best signing, of course, Leonardo Bonucci.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't know how that
Shock
happened.
of the transfer.
I don't know how that happened.
I feel they got lucky that he wanted to stay in Italy because
Yeah.
every
Chelsea-
single top club in Europe, PSG wanted him.
Yeah.
Real Madrid would have wanted him.
Chelsea-
Barca would have
Chelsea
wanted him.
offered
Chelsea
50,
definitely because
60
Conte
mil.
Conte is in love with Bonucci.
For the best center back in the world,
Yeah.
42 million.
Yeah.
Considering how much other teams are spending for defenders, that
And
is
he's-
just.
what is he? The captain now right away?
He's
Yeah,
the captain right away,
When you-
replacing Montolivo. Thank God. So
He definitely
Ah.
deserves captaincy, and he's definitely got the leadership qualities. You know, when you play for a team like Juventus and you're at the back three with Buffon, Chiellini, Barzagli, like.
and he is a huge upgrade in defense. We'll give Romagnoli the experience.
Oh yeah.
And he is playing with another experienced defender,
Just-
Musacchio, as well, who it does bring a lot to the team.
That's
Them playing,
actually
you guys what play three at the
great
back?
quality.
It depends. He plays better with 3 at the back, but right now with Romagnoli still recovering, we're playing 4 at the back. Conti and
And Ricardo
Rodriguez.
Rodriguez is now can be center back or left back, right back.
exactly.
who
We have a
knows?
team that can.
You have
really-
really quality players.
exactly.
Like your Mercato Roma should have been looking for.
Especially keeping Gigio. That's the big one there.
Everyone hated him at the beginning when he wanted to
As they
leave.
should.
What are they calling him? Dollaruma?
Dollaruma, the snake.
Dollaruma.
But after his interview with, sorry, not his interview, but Raiola's interview to select few reporters, we all knew it was some BS in there. So we started to have a little bit of faith. But
We all know who's chirping in his ear also, Big Mino.
Oh
The
my
big
God.
guy, all he cares about is that fat agent fee at the end. So no matter what, he would push for anybody to get sold.
But the one thing disappointing about him renewing is bringing in his
Your
brother.
Favorite part.
It's his brother, which is just like
Yeah,
why?
It's like when your
Why?
mom asks you to go out to the movies and you gotta tag him along. They just got him just to keep him happy, I guess.
Honestly, he's not gonna play. Stradati will probably play over Donnarumma. So that I don't know why we could have kept Gabriel as someone.
Yeah, Gabriel's still young.
He could have been the backup over Stradati, over Antonio Donnarumma. So
For me, also, Patrick Cutrone, that kid is a baller.
Yeah.
For them to get him from the youth team and he's keeping Andre Silva on the bench shows his quality. What is he, 18 as well?
18,
and
19.
Italian? So they,
Honestly,
Milan,
like,
they might have
spending
got their new Shevchenko.
honestly, spending all this money and the best strikers coming from the youth team,
I
it's
know,
just.
it's good. That's
and
what we
he's-
want to see.
He's in love with the club. Like he's
for
just
sure.
everything. He wants to emulate. A lot of people are. They're saying Inzaghi. That is hard to do,
Hopefully he stays on side.
but he's showing better movement than Inzaghi. He's coming back to get the ball. He's working hard. His number does represent the first year that Milan didn't win a European trophy. So you show how he's dedicated to the team.
Yeah, for sure.
For me,
So
I feel like DeCilio is a hit and miss. Like they sold him for 10 million. He is injury prone, but to be honest, going to Juve could turn around his career.
just like what happened with Pirlo.
He's still
but we'll
he's
see.
still very young.
Yeah.
Juve need a vice wing back,
Mhm.
especially with Lichtsteiner getting old.
Lichtsteiner also being excluded from the Champions League team, but to replace Danny Alves, that is a little hard to do, but getting 10, 12 mil for him, I don't mind. He was hit and miss, but probably under Allegri, he could probably do better.
And getting Lapadula off the books, getting Kalinic and Silva as well as Cutrone, that guy would not touch pitch.
Yeah.
So for him to go get good game time somewhere else, as well as getting his wages off the bill,
I would have loved to see Lapadula over Kalinic. One, because of the age, and Lapadula was a workhorse. He did love the team. We all, Milan fans, fell in love with him. It was just the way he was with the team. It was something to see. Like, he was a great player to have. So
the thing is, though, with Kalinic, it gives you the freedom to play two up front. You can put either Cutrone or Andre Silva and have him as the target man.
And we did have a good midfielder in Çalhanoğlu, who will probably work well with Bonaventura and Suso. Set players up on the set pieces, send them
Great free
long.
kicks.
He's everything you wish Honda was,
Honestly.
basically.
Yeah.
If Honda was in form and probably played in his right position, he probably would have been the next attacking midfielder.
And a good impact.
We did have Casinel and Biglia, who are taking over Montolivo's role.
Cassie can easily be the next Yaya Toure.
Yeah.
Yaya Toure, Gattuso, the workhorse that
He's
he
a
is.
box to box. That's all you want. He'll
So-
score. You'll chip in with the odd goal here, but he'll also crunch your legs.
He can score screamers too as well.
And we did sign a young player for the future. I would say probably two. We signed Pellegrini from Genoa, who's coming to us in January and will later be sent to the youth team
The
for
16-year-old?
Gattuso.
Yeah, I thought he was going.
He scored a couple goals last year,
He
didn't he?
scored on his debut against Roma, so good that we got him. After it was reported Inter was going to sign him, but luckily we stole him from him.
Surprised. I was so shocked
And
to
then
hear
we
that.
did sign another young player who was sent to Gattuso's team, and Thiago Diaz from Benfica, a young striker who's probably again for the future, but hopefully he can develop in the Primavera.
Yeah.
So
And
we'll
getting
see.
kids from Benfica, they're always very good. They have a
Yeah.
very good youth system as well as developing kids. So he could be a diamond in the rough.
Mhm. So that was our winner of the transfer window in Serie A. We're just going to go into our honorary winner here, which is Spal, returning to Serie A after 49 years.
Getting two very, very experienced Serie A strikers in Alberto Paloschi and Marco Borriello. And just for his mustache alone, they got a bargain.
Borriello being an experienced journeyman in Serie A, he now has a record of scoring with 12 different teams in Serie A.
On his
So-
debut as well, he scored.
Yeah, so he will bring something. They did keep Meret from last year, who did help them come up. They signed an experienced Felipe from Udinese, got Mattiello, who's another youngster from Juve, Salomon, Bonazzoli from Sampdoria. So some decent signings there. We'll see how well they can do. It's still early in the season to see if they can stay up.
Yep.
Again, 49 years from Serie A. That is a long time. They want to
Yes.
stay up here.
They have
so-
nothing to lose, so they can go into every game with the pressure off of them, and they can just give it
Yeah,
their
it's
all.
just good to see them back in the City, and hopefully we all just wish the best for them. And
They didn't get rid of many other people they really considered superstars, so they managed to get rid of some dead weight and bring in some experienced players again, which will help.
yeah,
So it is a little early to say, but I hope they do stay after the way they've been playing. Let's just see what else they can do.
I also feel like we can add Juve and Inter in here. I'll go with Juve. You can maybe elaborate on Inter, but I feel Juve keeping Dybala from the clutches of Barca is a very big thing. They turned down 150 million, which not a lot of clubs would do. They did buy they got Douglas Costa, which is an upgrade on the wings.
Matuidi, Hovedaz.
Matuidi, it just depends if he can carry on his form from PSG. Matuidi is a very good defensive mid, but he's past 30
It
now
also
too.
depends how often Marquisio and Khedira are injured. They also, I believe, have Surado occasionally who will probably play.
yeah. They got rid of Lamina too. So.
And Rincon, so they got rid of Deadwood.
Yeah. They do have young Bentancur from Boca Juniors.
Yeah, it was
They
a good
officially
squad player.
signed Quadrado and Benatia. But it's just the absence of Bonucci and Daniel Alves Abalo feel hurt.
Oh, for sure.
They now
quality
Mhm.
players.
They're missing the players like Pogba, like the star names. Like they
Yeah.
haven't been able. Like keeping Dybala is good, but who knows what happens next year? He could leave.
And then they did get rid of Kingsley Coleman, who Bayern did exercise the option to buy. that's tough as well. They could have used him.
They could have got a way bigger price.
They jumped the gun with
Way
that
bigger
double
fee.
loan deal. Putting the obligation to buy was a big
It was only
mistake.
30 mil, I believe. No.
And loaning him to Bayern in the first place was not a good idea because he
They
was
were
never
Champions
going to
League
be a
rivals.
starter at
Yeah, he did. Ancelotti did like him, so that gave him reason to stay. But with Bonucci gone, there is a chance for Benatia and Hovedez, but now that limits Rugani, who's another up and coming defender. So
That's one of the bright sparks. Bonucci leaving gives Rugani a chance to play, but they also still have the two experienced silver foxes,
so.
Barzagli
yeah.
and Chiellini.
And they did sign a backup in Wojtek Szczesny, who kept, I believe, the most clean sheets last year in Serie A. So
And
that
they
did-
got the Don Gigi Buffon. One more year. The last hurrah for the final piece of the puzzle, the Champions League.
But it is tough thinking of a backup for the future as Szczesny, but it's hard to say because he's an older pick instead of one for younger, considering there's Leali, there's Odero, there's Gijo, who they were trying to sign during that period where he didn't
Hopefully he
want
keeps
to sign.
the cigarettes out of the locker room, just like he did with Arsenal.
So those are, I guess, our honorary, unless you want to talk about Inter, if they really did much.
They like Spalletti was probably the biggest signing for sure for Inter, but
More than a player, who really you can see revamped.
keeping
them,
Perisic was big for sure. Dalbert was key screener. But
They
the only
did-
thing
they
is,
did keep,
Ranocchia is still on the team. Ranocchia is our third string center back, and I don't know why you would get rid of Murillo and not have a guaranteed replacement for the guy. But I mean, that's Inter. What are you gonna do?
You guys
Borja
missed
Valero was a very good signing. He's
Yeah,
one of the
Borja
most
Valero.
underrated midfielders in Serie A. You
He's
guys
gonna be
do
our
also
PO,
have...
You managed to keep Kandreva and Perisic, who
We
were
got
in the midst
Vecino.
of leaving, but
And you have Icardi, who's my favorite for the top scorer this
Yeah.
year, because him and Perisic connection, that's just magic.
He's-
They're
right?
deadly, yeah.
honestly, he's becoming better. So we'll see how well.
As the
It's
years
only
go
see if he's able to continue on these top games, but we'll
That's
see, right?
One thing I'm disappointed with Inter, to end off the note, is they're not giving Gabigol a chance.
Yeah.
He's came last year, barely got any minutes. Now he's loaned out to Benfica. He'll develop into a great player because they're known
And
for
Benfica,
that.
and
Hopefully.
Benfica do have the option to buy.
Yes,
So if he does play
25
well,
mil.
he'll be leaving Inter. So
With no buyback clause up front Inter's part, so just 25% bonus fee. Which
So-
is very, very key.
So those are our winners of the Calciomercato. If you guys agree with us, let us know. If not, tell us who you think should have been the winners. You can follow us on Twitter, Calcio_Bros, and you can follow us on YouTube for more content as well. We'll hear from you guys soon. Ciao.
Thanks for having us, Christian.
Yeah.
Hopefully it was fun.
For sure.
Hopefully we can come on another
For
time.
sure.
Thank
For
you,
sure.
guys.
Ciao.